What did I miss? Brian here, and tonight I'm getting my windows tinted. Actually, no, I take that back. Tonight I'm removing the old factory tint, and the next day I'm getting my windows tinted. The only tint I have to remove are both the front driver and the passenger side windows. From what I've seen on YouTube, removing the window tint should be easy if you have the right tools, and even if you don't, if you have just some household items necessary, it'll work. Generally you need a heat gun, or I've seen some videos where people have like a clothing steamers and they work just fine. For me, I don't have a heat gun, so all I have is a hair dryer and a razor blade, but that works just fine because the hair dryer will heat up the old tint and the razor blade will help me slice up the little bit of the window tint to where it makes it easier for me to pull off. So without further ado, let's get to it. We are almost done with this one. Okay, we got it. Honestly, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I got most of it out, except there's a little bit of adhesive at the bottom. Now on to the front passenger window. By the looks of it, it should be a lot easier to remove the passenger side. As you can see, some of that tint is already coming off at the bottom. Okay, this is what the factory tint looks like. As you can see, that's not dark at all. Actually, it's kind of dark, but it's not dark enough for me. Now that the tint is off, I have to clean off the adhesive it left behind. I'm gonna clean off these windows and then cut it to the next day. It is the next day. I'm at a tint shop called RoyZ Window Tint, and we are about to get my windows tinted. There's a Sylvia S15 and a Nissan Gloria out here. Both of them are right-hand drive. This is the waiting area. That's a reception. It's a man and wife type of shop. While you wait to get your windows tinted, you can help yourself to some snacks, some drinks, and some Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime TV. They also have free Wi-Fi and a charging station here. Pretty cool. They use Lumar tint. I almost thought about going with 3M, but I've heard some not so good things about 3M tint. Apparently 3M kind of fades out at some point, while with Lumar it doesn't, and with Lumar it comes with a lifetime warranty. Yo, guess who?
Finally made it.
You miss Cars and Coffee at Town Lake.
I know. I had to sleep in there. I caught me late last night.
How was that one?
It's crazy, man. A lot of hoonie, man. Bunch of hoonie. Had to go to like several locations, and they all got shut down.
And helicopters showed up as well?
They would show up. They were just flying around. Apparently they were looking, you know, at us and stuff like that.
I got you.
This guy got pulled over.
Did he get arrested and handcuffed?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Right when the cop pulled out, took that, like, followed him. The truck stopped. Officer got out of his car, ran up to the guy, and dragged him out of the car.
He literally pulled him out.
Yeah.
Dang. They're getting some stuff done. This is Roy himself. Okay, it took a lot less than 2 hours, so they got this done pretty quick. That's what 25% looks like. Darker than I thought, but I have a feeling it still may not be enough, but better than the factory tint it came with. Then we go towards the back, and this is just pure limo tint at this point. Big thanks to RoyZ window tint. If you're in the Houston area, definitely check this place out. This is my first time ever getting windows tinted, and it's a good thing I found this place on the first try and did not have to go through a bunch of other shops. Now that it's done getting tinted, what can I do and what can I not do?
I mean, pretty much the only thing you want to do is stay away from any razor blades or anything on the inside. Nothing abrasive or anything like that. But and you know, in the care package you had some glass cleaner and stuff that came with you.
Yes.
But feel free to use that. But a lot of places will tell you not to use any Windex or anything with ammonia on it. If you get something sticky on there that won't come off, use Windex. Use whatever you need to get it off there. It's not going to void your warranty, but just try not to use it on over and over again for a long period of time, because it will eventually start to wear down that scratch-resistant coating.
Yeah, that's actually what I used to remove the adhesive off the old tint.
Right, and because it breaks down the glue very well too.
Yes.
But like I said, if you don't have kids or anybody getting any sticky fingerprints on it, that glass cleaner should work just fine for you. But I mean, roll your windows up and down, do everything you normally would. I'm sure she went over the moisture pattern with you, right? That here in probably about 15 or 20 minutes, it'll have a textured look to it. Don't let that scare you. It's part of the drying process. Should clear out by this evening or tomorrow. But roll your windows up and down, do everything you normally would.
Yeah, she did tell me that.
ATMs, drive-throughs, nothing's off limits. Just don't clean the inside with anything abrasive. Like I said, no razor blades or copper scrunch, stuff that you would use on pots and pans.
Oh no.
But other than that, just act normal.
Okay.
Clean them with glass cleaner, soft rag, and keep on moving.
Well, thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Have a nice day.
You too.
It's been about an hour after I got my windows tinted, and I have to say, I notice a big difference. Not so sure how well it shows on camera, but this is the windshield that's left untouched, and this is the tinted window. It's starting to get cloudy, but when it was bright and sunny, I felt all the heat coming in through the windshield, and through the tinted window, not so much. I still wish that I could tint the windshield, but like I said, it's illegal to do that in Texas. So one last final look and walk around the truck. Again, this is 25%, and at first I thought it would be just a tad bit shadier than the factory tint, but I was wrong. This is a lot darker than I thought, and I don't know how well it shows on camera, but I could barely see the driver's seat. In the rear windows, as well as the tailgate, 15%. I may consider going a tad bit darker, but there's an upside and downside to it. On the upside, it blocks out a lot more heat, but on the downside, it makes it more difficult to see at night when I'm driving. By the looks of it, looking through the rear windows, okay, I shouldn't have any issue seeing at night. I was told that with the rear windows, they used 30%, which turned it into what it looks like right now. And if I wanted to go darker, they would add an extra layer of 30%, which will black it out at that point. I think for now I'm going to keep these windows as how they are, and plus, when I'm driving at night, I would like to be able to see through them. Again, not too sure how well it shows up on camera, but look at this. Windshield left untouched, that is 25%, and this is 15%. I've noticed that with the rear windows, it blocks out a lot more heat, and that's because the rear windows are colored glass. Having the tint over the colored glass certainly makes it darker on the outside and certainly helps block out a lot more heat. Looking at the front passenger and driver side windows, the Lumar tint certainly blocks out a lot more heat than the factory tint. But because the front windows are clear glass and not faded glass like the rear windows, that's where I feel like the tint still may not be enough, even though it's at 25%. And in Texas, 25% is the darkest you can go for the front windows. But it certainly beats having the factory tint in the front and no tint in the back windows at all. So that is it for, I guess, last night and today. Thanks for watching. If you're subscribed, thanks. If you're not, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Take care, everybody. I'll catch you on the flip side.